By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Britain had undergone significant transformation due to the Industrial Revolution. Rapid industrialization led to the growth of urban centers, creating a burgeoning working class. While industrialization brought economic growth, it also highlighted stark social inequalities and poor living conditions for many. The urban poor lived in overcrowded slums with inadequate sanitation, leading to widespread health problems and high mortality rates. Child labor, unemployment, and lack of education further exacerbated social issues. Investigative reports and studies, such as Charles Booth's Life and Labour of the People in London, and Seaborn Rowntree's Poverty, a study of town life, brought the extent of poverty to public attention, influencing political discourse. The Liberal Party, led by figures such as Henry Campbell Bannerman, Herbert Asquith, and David Lloyd George, came to power with a commitment to addressing social inequalities and improving the lives of the working class. The Liberals believed that government intervention was necessary to tackle poverty and provide security for all citizens. The early 20th century saw the decline of the Conservative Party and the rise of the Labour Party, which further pressured the Liberals to implement progressive social policies. The Liberals aimed to preempt Labour's growing influence by enacting significant social reforms. One of the first major reforms was the Old Age Pensions Act of 1908. This act provided non-contributory pensions for people over the age of 70 with low incomes. For many elderly citizens, it was the first time they received financial support from the state, helping to alleviate destitution in old age. The National Insurance Act of 1911 introduced compulsory health insurance for workers earning under a certain income threshold. Both workers and employers contributed to the scheme, which provided sickness benefits and free medical care. Additionally, the Act included unemployment insurance for certain industries, offering financial support to workers during periods of joblessness. The Labour Exchanges Act established state-run labour exchanges to help match unemployed workers with available jobs. These exchanges aimed to reduce unemployment and improve the efficiency of the labour market. The Liberal reforms also focused on child welfare and education. The Education, Provision of Meals. Act 1906 allowed local authorities to provide free school meals to children from low-income families, addressing malnutrition and improving educational outcomes. The Children Act, 1908, also known as the Children's Charter, introduced measures to protect children from neglect and abuse, including the establishment of juvenile courts and the prohibition of child begging. The Liberal reforms marked a significant shift in the role of the state in British society. By providing financial support and social services, the reforms helped to reduce poverty, improve public health, and enhance the quality of life for many citizens. They laid the foundation for the modern welfare state by establishing the principle that the government had a responsibility to ensure the well-being of its citizens. The Liberal reforms had profound political consequences. They signaled a move away from laissez-faire policies towards a more interventionist state. This shift influenced future governments and set the stage for more comprehensive welfare policies in the post-World War II era. Despite their positive impact, the Liberal reforms faced criticisms and challenges. Some conservatives viewed the reforms as overly paternalistic and a burden on taxpayers, while some socialists argued that the measures were insufficient and did not go far enough in addressing systemic inequalities. Additionally, the outbreak of World War I in 1914 shifted political priorities and limited the scope of further social reform. The liberal reforms of the early 20th century represented a milestone in British social policy, pioneering the development of the welfare state. These reforms were driven by a recognition of the need to address the social and economic challenges brought about by industrialization and urbanization. By introducing measures such as old age pensions, national insurance, labor exchanges, and child welfare laws, the Liberals set a precedent for state intervention in social welfare, influencing subsequent generations of policymakers and shaping the trajectory of British society. The legacy of these reforms is evident in the continued evolution of the welfare state, reflecting an enduring commitment to social justice and the well-being of all citizens.